Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to get ready together. So grab your makeup, let's hang out while we get ready for the day. It's actually the middle of the day right now. I'm filming this on Saturday, the day before Easter. I'm getting ready to film some meditations for my other YouTube channel, film another video something that I'm working on, and then just do a lot of work. So for the last month, I think I told you guys this in one of my last videos, but for the last month, oh my gosh, my skin is so soft. I recently shaved my face for the first time in a couple months, and it's just so soft and smooth. And I've been doing my skincare again. I know in one of my recent videos I told you guys I've been like crap about my skincare, but I'm doing it, and my skin is just like so much softer. It loves me more. It's all good things. But what was I just talking about? I just forget. Oh, I told you in one of my recent videos that Chloe, our nanny, was home right now, but she is coming 2 days next week, which is really exciting. So I don't have to work quite as much this weekend, but I'm still going to work a lot because I have a lot to catch up on from this past week, and then just a lot for future stuff. So anyway, today we're just going to have a little chit chat, get ready together. I just use my Smashbox primer oil, and my foundation that I'm like obsessed with right now is my Smashbox Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation, and my shade is 1.1. This is a neutral undertone, fair light with a neutral undertone, and this is really perfect for me right now, but in the summer it's definitely going to be too light, as are all of our foundations. I have been doing my brows while my primer oil soaks in, and you guys, it's like the perfect amount of time for my oil to soak in and then for me to put the foundation on top of after. And I'm using my NYX eyebrow pencil, and you guys, I have not plucked my eyebrows in so long. Don't look too closely. I mean, I really should do it, but I haven't, so you know, it's fine. But how are you guys doing? What are your Easter plans? Easter's tomorrow. We colored eggs this morning. That was really fun. And I don't know about you guys, but Easter egg coloring was always one of my favorite things to do. I loved getting like really creative and like drawing on the eggs with crayons, or like using rubber bands, or using different dipping techniques. Anyway, they didn't have any Easter egg kits, so I actually used food coloring and vinegar and boiling water to do our eggs. So I didn't even have like the tabs that you normally have, I think. We just use regular food coloring. It works just as well. And then Isla was so into it, you guys. She was so cute. She kept dipping her hands. She took the whole egg and she just dunked it in and held it in with her hands because she loves water. And do not tell her, but I think the Easter Bunny is going to bring her a water table. Oh my gosh. And I'm doing my concealer before my foundation, which I'm loving. Love this Pretty Vulgar concealer. Oh my gosh. Am I obsessed with it. It's so good. Like, it might be top 3 concealers of all time. It's just right for me. It's not too much coverage. It's just enough. I don't have crazy dark circles, and I have dry skin. So in the winter, I especially have dry under eyes and stuff that's really full coverage that creases so badly on me. And this is just the right amount. It's kind of a light medium coverage concealer. Still does the trick without being excessive. And then this foundation is thicker, and it gives me kind of that full coverage, and I go over my concealer line a little bit, and then it's not too brightening. It's just right, like Goldilocks, you know? Those 3 bears, you know that story? Yeah. So anyway, we had a lot of fun dyeing eggs this morning, and then Tim was doing a little bit of yard work, and Isla was napping, and I was working out, and then now I'm getting my work done. Tim's grandma is actually on her way here. Her daughter picked her up. She lives about 45 minutes away. Picked her up, her daughter and her family. So it's like Tim's aunt, his mom's sister, picked Lucille up, Tim's grandma, and they're doing like a grandma Easter parade through the Twin Cities to all of our different houses so that we can see grandma and say hi. So it's really fun. So I hope that I'm done with this video before they come by. I think I will be, because we're not their first stop. We're more outside of well, we're not outside, we're kind of in between. So that'll be really fun to see her, because since she lives so far, it's been hard to see her regularly, and she doesn't drive. And so we did go for her 92nd birthday. Tim's grandma is 92 years old. So we went for her 92nd birthday, and we had a social distancing birthday party. We serenaded her while she stood on her balcony, and then she came down and we all stood 6 feet apart and ate cupcakes. Like, well, we really stood like 10 feet apart. We ate some cupcakes. I'm really liking my Jaclyn Hill Mood Lighting Powder for my face powder. It's just not too mattifying, and it allows me to like take a little bit of the tackiness of any foundation away without being like really cake facey. And you guys, I am obsessed with the ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. I have been wanting to pull this out for so long, but because there's so many other palettes that came out recently, I haven't been using it. And then I was like, screw this, I'm using it, it's amazing. And I think I'm gonna use my e.l.f. matte eyeshadow as a base today. Cause you know, in quarantine it's really weird. I haven't been using an eyeshadow primer, and I was like, I don't need an eyeshadow primer, I'll need my eyeshadow to last all day. And then I don't use a primer and I go look in the mirror, you know, 6 hours in, and I'm like, I worked hard on that eyeshadow, where did it go, you know? So we're gonna use an eyeshadow primer, and I like this because it's pretty much my skin tone, so it's not too dark, it's not too light, and I don't know, I like that. You guys know I don't like crazy brightening effect around my eyes. I really don't need it that much, and so it just feels like excessive. Like I never know why I'm doing it. So I don't have a lot of veins on my lids, and I don't get a ton of dark circles. What I have are like fine lines like crow's feet. That's what I have more than. Starting to peak up, you know, at 32. But I am embracing it. Bring it on. I'm wise, I'm older, and I'm wiser than I used to be. All right, let's go in with just a regular MAC 217 and in the buff shade, and let's just kind of dust that on the lid. Did I just go? No, I just picked up the wrong one. In the buff is just this really pretty cream color. Oh, I'll zoom in. It's just a cream color that's very similar to that matte eyeshadow. And I'm just gonna take it all over. I always feel so much better when I just take a minute every day to put on makeup. Let's go. I'm gonna work up in this first row. So first of all, this shade, Silk Teddy, is the prettiest eyeshadow, this one right here, that I've ever used in my entire life. And that is a shimmer. And it is the prettiest, shiniest, my favorite eyeshadow. You can't even tell. Here you can see like the undertone of it. It is the prettiest, truest, like rose gold champagne. It's the prettiest eyeshadow I've ever used. I'm not taking that back. I stand by it. So I'm gonna be using this top row, and I'm gonna use a combination of On Holiday and Banter to work in the outer. Oh my gosh, this brush. Look at this, it's coming apart. Oh, I should grab my new Jaclyn Hill brushes. I am on a no-buy, and I had a lapse in judgment. Actually, I had a lapse in brain power. This is what happened. I don't know if it was quarantine. Okay, BWM Tools, you're out. Move to ColourPop brushes. But anyway, I had a lapse in memory because I don't even know how it happened. But I think it was a morning, I got an email that their Morphe Jaclyn Hill brushes were 50% off, like one of the sets. The Master Remix set or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a fantastic deal. And if you don't remember, I just got a few Jaclyn Hill brushes when I bought her new palette. And I love them so much. I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. And I ordered it. And it took me like 3 days to remember that I was on a no-buy. So I did not return them. One, because with COVID, it took so long for them to get here. And like, I'm not making trips to UPS, and I'm gonna use them. I actually have tossed a lot of my brushes. I've been decluttering a little bit. I still have decluttering to do, and we're actually going to do it on this channel soon. We gotta spring clean this makeup collection. These ColourPop shadows blend so well. They have the prettiest colors. This is the best neutrals palette. Oh my gosh. It's just got the most amazing mix of colors. I'm such a big fan. I'm such a big fan of this palette. Huge fan. I'm gonna go in a little bit darker now to Hot Gossip right here. And it's like, it's this one. It's like a medium brown. I'm gonna use this on the outer third. I just like to lay down a slightly darker shade before I put down Silk Teddy, It is so bright, that shade Silk Teddy. It's just the prettiest. And these are really powdery, so you want to tap off the excess, but they are so blendable. You know, part of being really powdery just means they're soft and they're going to be easy to blend, generally, most of the time. So I like to put down a little bit of a darker shade before I go with Silk Teddy because it is so champagne-y, so bright. And I'm going to do a little bit of crack on. And I'm going to put this near the lash line. Right up against the lash line. And then just fluff it out. I'm not putting this up towards the crease, just more focusing it on that lash line. And then just like blending up slightly. Just so it's a little denser. A little more dimension. Alright, I'm going to go into a clean blending, just wiping off the one we used earlier. And I'm just going to blend the edges of that darker shadow. So, what are you guys doing in quarantine to have some fun? What did you do for Easter? We're going to do a grandkids parade tomorrow to Tim's dad's house and kind of surprise him, which will be really fun. I'm going to take a little bit of designer duds. Is that what that says? Designer duds right here. And I'm going to use Silk Teddy right here. I'm just going to do this one in the outer portion of the eye and then Silk Teddy in the inner portion. Or not inner portion, but more towards the middle. So we're going to do like a grandkids parade to Tim's dad's house. That'll be fun. But I'm just so excited because Isla is 1.5, or not 1.5, but she's 16 months. And she is going to be so excited on Easter morning because she is just very aware of her surroundings and like what should be there and then what is there. So she knows her house now. Like she knows what goes where and where things come from and stuff like that. And so I just think she's going to be so excited when she walks out and sees that an Easter bunny like hid eggs around the house. She's definitely going to be so excited to find them. She's like very perceptive and she'll see them right away, I think, and she loves like taking things apart and putting them back together right now. We're in that phase of development and learning, and so like opening up, we have some plastic eggs and then some real eggs, and she loves food. I told the Easter bunny to put, you know, goldfish and Cheerios and like some healthier things in the plastic eggs, not all candy, so I think she's going to have herself a little heyday tomorrow and just love it, and I'm really, really excited. Maybe I'll vlog Easter. I mean, I'll be filming a little bit anyway, but you guys, I can tell you, there's nothing that this mom loves more than making the magic happen. That is like everything to me. Everything. Like I live for this. I live for tomorrow and moments like that. It's my favorite. My mom was like an expert at making the magic happen, and it's just who I am now, and who I have always been. Like my family always jokes that like, you know, I was just the most excited kid for all holidays. And I'm gonna put a little of Silk Teddy on the lower lash line. You need such a little bit of this because it's so potent. I love holidays. I love celebrating. I love giving gifts. Like seeing the look on people's faces when you give them the perfect gift for them. Seriously makes me so happy. A little bit of banter on the lower lash line. And I don't know about you guys, but something that I am noticing in quarantine and just like actively trying to do is just be constantly grateful. And I'm talking to my community about that too. Like for instance, Tim went to the grocery store the other day and we're kind of buying, not in bulk by any means, but just buying, when we would normally buy like one of something, we're buying two, and we're buying more freezer stuff that keeps longer so that we can try to go to the grocery store every 2 weeks. So we end up mostly going once a week, I think. Wow, I really love this shade Banter. It's really pretty. And you can kind of blend it a little further down and it still looks really nice. I'm gonna take a pencil brush and put a tiny bit of Silk Teddy on the inner corner, but like so lightly. I'm gonna be really careful. So anyway, what I was saying was that he went to the grocery store the other day and he came home, and every time I opened the fridge that day, I just felt so grateful that we have food. And I think practicing gratitude for what you have right now, and I'm just feeling immensely grateful for all of the big things that we have. The house, the ability to buy food, the warmth of our home, the fact that we have like a healthy relationship, and that we like each other, and that we love our family, and that we get this extra time together, and with the dogs, and the backyard that we have, and I'm just warm water and running water, and even like toilet paper, and I mean, I don't know, I'm just really aware of that right now, and I think it's a good reminder to everybody to be more grateful, because we get in, and I think a lot of us are feeling that right now in a big way, because so many people go without every day, not just in the pandemic, just every day. And you know, so many of us are so lucky, and we should really like vibrate that, like feel that, internalize that. And so I've just been really trying to feel into that emotion and into that feeling, and sit there and really enjoy it and soak it in, because when you do that, you breed more of that feeling, you foster more of that feeling, and your whole life changes from that. Something I'm really loving right now that I've gone back to is my NARS Laguna bronzer. It's just such a good one, and I've been kind of going back and forth between this one and my e.l.f. bronzer. Talk about changes in pricing. I love the e.l.f. primer infused bronzer though, and sometimes I mix them because the e.l.f. one is a little warmer, but I just think this NARS one has the prettiest undertone. Like, it's not too cool, it's not too warm. No, it's kind of perfect. I am obsessed with this foundation. It gives me like the perfect amount of coverage. It's not mattifying, but it's not dewy, and normally I love dewy foundations, but I'm really enjoying that I can use my primer oil and this stays so well all day, because it's not a super slipping foundation, but it looks like a second skin. Ooh, that Silk Teddy is kind of all up under my eye. I got some fallout from that one. Eyes just look extra glittery. And I'm not going anywhere, so I'm gonna leave it. I've also been really liking the NARS Afterglow Overlust cheek palette. And I kind of just mix all the blushes. Yesterday I think I just went into this darker one, but generally I just mix them all. And I like the way that that looks. Gives a nice healthy flush to the cheeks. And I'm really liking the highlighter in this palette too. I've been using that more. So I'm gonna go into, I think this highlighter specifically is better with a denser brush. So I like this one, it's more my skin tone. This kind of reminds me of the same consistency as the Stila. It's not powdery, it's very like putty-like, the Stila putty highlighters. So I normally like really load up my brush and then really blend it in, and I always blend it up to my forehead, on my nose, and Cupid's bow. And my lips, you guys, well, let's do a little Morphe setting spray. Not much, don't need a lot. And then for my lips, I've been obsessed with the Kokie Cosmetics Warm Nude. You guys know this is like my favorite anyway, but I've just been wearing this because it stays so well. Even if I layer like a lip balm on top, it's so nice. And I have been liking to layering NARS Bettina on top. I'm not gonna do that today. I'm really liking that like matte lip. So this is the finished look, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you got your makeup and hung out with me and just had some fun today getting ready for the day. It's hard to do that some days in quarantine. I'm only wearing makeup like a couple times a week, and that's not necessarily by choice because I would get ready like this every single day, but sometimes it's just not possible until like 1 or 2, and then I'm like, what's the point? I will be taking it off in 4 or 5 hours anyway, so then I don't, but I always feel better when I do it. So I encourage you guys to do it, get ready for the day. Straighten your hair, curl your hair, take a shower, throw a little bit of mascara on, just do something that makes you feel good. So I love you guys. If you're not a member of my Fear Fighters Facebook group already, it's free to join. It's a totally free group. I go live in there Monday through Friday, every single day, and I talk about different things that are helping you during this time. So last week I did a guided audio meditation. I did 3 yoga poses for stress relief. We did another live meditation together. Gosh, we've talked about all kinds of things. So go click below and check out that Fear Fighters Facebook group. Make sure that you join it. I love you all. Have a great day, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.